Happy Thursday. I just want to talk to you a few minutes about, good morning. The park ranger. I'm sitting here on a bench in the park. But I want to talk to you today about inner peace. Because, a lot of lawyers that I worked with don't have inner peace. And, a lot of it's because they really are taking on the problems of other people. So it's, how do you have peace when you're like looking at really the underbelly of humans, like the not so great part of humans? Because when people come to you, they usually have a problem, and it's either something they did or something someone else did. And so that's what you're dealing with. So how can you have inner peace? Well, the first thing I found about having inner peace is if we can find a way to be forgiving of ourselves. I just got off the phone. I talked with a couple of my clients in the morning, and my client had made a mistake, and they continue to berate themselves. And this is the second day that they've been really in kind of a funk because they're upset with themselves. And so let's just play that out. Okay, so you made a mistake. You berate yourself. You beat yourself up, and you're thinking about it, and it's kind of always in the back of your mind. You may be, in court or doing whatever, but you're kind of beating yourself up. So what lens do you look out at the world then from that place? You're looking out at the world from that place of unforgiveness, of fault finding, of unforgiveness. And so you have this tumultuous feeling inside. So then you have people you work with, you have colleagues, you have opposing counsel. So then all of a sudden, the world is a very unfriendly place because everywhere you look, there's turmoil, unforgiveness, people doing wrong to others, and there's no forgiveness. So how do you circumvent yourself from that? I call it just kind of like looking and seeing like what can you do to have peace inside. And practicing the law is really many times it's just not a fun thing to do. It's a lot of detail, it's a lot of paperwork in addition to that, and on top of that you have to look at how are you going to make a living. The truth is that most lawyers are not going to be prepared to retire. They're not going to be prepared to have a stable income because the legal profession keeps changing. The slice of the pie keeps changing. There's too many lawyers who are out there looking for work. Too many lawyers that are out there opening their own practices trying to find their piece of the pie. There's so much involved. I have a lot of clients that have their own firm. There's so much involved, and they're going to these outside people who really don't care, but they're a dollar. So they're like a cash cow. That's why one of my clients, I said, you're a cash cow. Stop spending. Because, it's just like you're trying to figure out how to stay afloat. You're trying to figure out how to stay in business. In addition to having a caseload that in order to have, make a decent living or even to survive in a law firm, you have to have a caseload that is beyond your ability to stay on top of. So therefore, looking from the outside, so if you start with the inside, you're like critical of yourself, you're uptight, you're regretful, you're hating what you're doing, and then you look outside and then the people around you aren't doing what they need to be doing, and people are letting you down, and then there's the court system, and then there's unfair judges, and then there's opposing counsel that make extra work for no reason, that are just being difficult, and we know how that always happens. So it can just make one day just a bad day that makes into another bad day, and then another bad day, and another bad week, and then there's kind of like a hopelessness. So, it's just really looking at how can we have inner peace while we're doing this. This is a difficult work. My goal for you is that you find a way that you can get above the fray and start taking actions towards having a secure financial future. Because the day-to-day activities and challenges is just keeping your head above water. You know, you just kind of on a day-to-day keeping your head above water, but who's like looking at the future? And that's why I always try to use the analogy of going up on the helicopter, going up above and saying, okay, where is this ship heading? Is this ship heading to me having financial security in the future, or am I just doing this day-to-day activities that I'm not even happy about, and you know, and I don't know where it's leading? So, you know, I love talking about these things. Hi, Jonathan, how are you? I think that, you know, you've got to look at the big picture. The big picture is beyond the day-to-day struggle, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. That's the truth. So, you know, sometimes you have to take risks. You have to take dramatic behaviors and actions to change the course, the trajectory of where your law practice is heading. But, you know, I just one last thing is just that when you went to law school, it's no easy thing to become a lawyer. It's no easy thing to finish law school. There's no easy thing to pass the bar. There's no easy thing to try to practice law. There's no easy thing to try to find a job. So the practice of law has become very, very difficult. And, you know, but you have to get above the fray. You have to find a way. You've got to get the support to get above the fray so that you can have a plan and have someone that can support you to have a plan. You know, I said the other day, it's like Edison and Ford and even Martin Luther King and all these people, they surrounded themselves with people that could help them get to where they wanted to go. So if you don't surround yourself, or at least have one or two people that are going to support you to get to where you want to go, then you're going to stay just kind of holding your head up above water day to day. So anyway, I hope you have a good day. And yeah, Jonathan, I'd love to talk to you. I'll put my information and just put a date on my schedule, or anyone that listens, I'd love to have a chat with you. And just have a great day. Bye-bye.